Hey, what's going on, everybody? So Apple has just released iOS 18.1 to the public, and this finally gives us some Apple Intelligent features. So something that we've all been kind of looking forward to. Apple's really been pushing their new AI stuff here, so it is nice that we finally get some new features, although it would have been cool to have all these to begin with. But this is just the beginning for Apple Intelligence. We're going to see a lot more features coming in later updates here to iOS. I know there's a bunch more coming in 18.2, but for now, if you have an iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max and later, then you are the only ones that are going to be able to enjoy these new features. This is an iPhone 15 Pro Max, so luckily for me, we get to try this stuff out. So the first thing you're going to want to do if you have a compatible device is you're going to want to head over to your settings. And you're going to notice that here in your settings there is a new section here for Apple Intelligence and Siri. Now if you notice up top, it does say that we are in beta, which I think is kind of interesting. But what you're going to notice here when you go in is there'll be a little thing right here that says join the waitlist. Everybody's been kind of complaining about this whole waitlist thing. The only reason there is a waitlist is apparently the files are a little bit too large to just put into an update. They have to be downloaded to your phone from a server. So even though everything is processed here on device, you do have to download some files from the server, which, you know, it is what it is. But the waitlist was not as bad as I was expecting. I was kind of fearing the worst. I thought it was going to be like, you know, several days or whatever. It didn't take long at all. I think I had Apple Intelligence features in like 20 minutes. It really wasn't that big of a deal. But you have a whole bunch of different kind of settings and things, you know, similar Siri settings are still in here, but there are some specific intelligent features that you can take a look at. But we're going to jump into some of those here in a moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the first set of features here, and that is the new writing tools. So the writing tools are going to be available anywhere on your device where you type out text. So for example, here we are in the Notes app. You'll also be able to use it in things like email and, you know, just anywhere, like I said, on the device where you can type out something like this. So I just threw a random sentence here in the Notes app. And you're going to notice down here at the bottom, there is a new icon, the intelligence icon right there. If you tap on that icon, it's going to bring up your writing tools. And you can see that there are many different ones to choose from. So you can have it proofread your text, you can have it rewrite it to where it's more friendly, professional, or concise. You can also have it summarize the text, which is pretty cool. Pull out all the key points, put it in a list view, or even put it in a table view. So let's just go through some of these. So first off, you hit proofread, and it's going to go through there, and it's going to suggest changes. Oh, it's actually going to make the changes, and then you can choose whether or not to keep those. So it'll make those for you right there. Next one is we can do the rewrite. So it can rewrite it to kind of make it sound a little bit better for what it thinks it needs to be. Next one here, we can do something more friendly. Rewrite it to where it sounds a little bit friendly. You can see it actually added text in there. It says, guess what? Apple just dropped its first ever Apple Intelligent features. When we go back to the original, it says Apple has finally unveiled its first ever Apple Intelligent features. So kind of make it more exciting, you know, pretty cool there. You can also do it more professionally. So you can see that it says Apple has unveiled its inaugural suite of Apple Intelligent capabilities. So this is going to be kind of cool to play with over time. It's definitely going to help me with my writing. I can see this being useful for a lot of different things. So pretty cool to see that you can basically rewrite an entire, you know, paragraph, note, email, whatever. And you can also do concise, which kind of just makes it short, sweet, and to the point, as you can see. And then down here, this is probably my favorite one here, is the summary feature. Now it might not do it too good. You can see all it did at the bottom was just put one sentence summary. That would work better, obviously, if you had something a little bit larger. Key points as well. You can see it pops the key points down there at the bottom, which is pretty nice. So yeah, these writing tools are really nice, and I think they're going to be very helpful going forward. It'll be interesting to see how people integrate them in their daily lives. But yeah, those are the writing tools here with Apple Intelligence. Next thing we can talk about with this obviously is Siri. So Siri is going to be the big part of this new AI suite of features here. And to kick things off, Siri does get a new look. So if we go ahead and activate Siri, you can see that you have kind of like the outline there of all the colors, and that lets you know that Siri is activated. And then her responses will just pop up top there like they always do. Another thing you can do now to activate Siri instead of holding the side button is you can tap at the bottom of your phone. You can double tap that, and then you'll be able to type to Siri instead. So kind of think of it as ChatGPT or other AI assistants. You can type directly to them what you want to know, and as you type, it will start popping up suggestions. So you could say something like, tell me a dad joke, or just a normal joke, or a story. You can see how it's kind of populating the different options there, and then you can just tap on whatever you want. It sends it to Siri, and it then pops up your response there. So this is obviously going to get better over time as Siri gets smarter, hopefully, and then this will also be integrated with ChatGPT eventually, which will make it really nice. You can just kind of have like a shortcut to ChatGPT, which will make things a lot quicker. Siri also has a more natural kind of voice and everything like that. And by default, the Siri functionality is enabled where you just say it and then it pops up. And then there's also conversational context is maintained over the course of your session. So that way you can kind of have more of a conversation with Siri like you would a typical AI assistant. So overall, there's a lot of new features there with Siri, and hopefully she gets smarter. Moving on now here into the Photos application. So you have a much better search, and that is part of Apple Intelligence, being able to go through your photos and determine what you want to see. So for example, it has suggestions, trips in 2023, spring 2020, trips in 2022. So you can kind of get more specific there in your search. Do something like red car, for example. You can see that it pops up all the red cars there. So hopefully the search functionality is a little bit better here in the Photos app. Another cool thing in Photos app here that is powered by AI is the ability to clean up a photo or remove objects from a photo. So this is a gorgeous sunset picture that I took on a recent vacation. It looks a little weird on the GoPro camera because I really need a new camera, but trust me, iPhone 15 Pro Max doing a killer job on this sunset photo. The only problem with this photo is there was a guy fishing down here, which is, it's okay. I mean, it kind of adds a cool little effect, and I actually did take a picture of like his silhouette fishing there. But if you don't want that, for example, what you can do now is just go down here to edit, and then there's a new cleanup button down here. Now the first time you actually use cleanup, it will have to download it to your phone. So it kind of takes a second for it to set everything up there. Now if you notice over here, it's kind of glowing on the kind of buildings over there and stuff. So each photo, when you do tap on cleanup, it will kind of highlight what it thinks you want to get rid of. But what I actually want to get rid of is this guy fishing down here. So we can pinch to zoom down here, and then you just basically can either tap or draw. Now it's not going to work on tapping because it's not highlighted, but we can go ahead and just kind of draw over this dude right here just a little bit and see what happens. And there you go. He has completely disappeared. Now his fishing pole is still in the photo. This might be a little bit harder since it is so narrow. Yeah, there's a little bit left right there. And there's a little bit up there. Might get it, maybe not. Yeah, sometimes it works good, sometimes it doesn't. Go ahead and do that. There you go. I mean, you really can't tell too much that anything was there, especially when you zoom back out, but you can see that it works pretty good. Now, obviously, this is not a new feature by any means across mobile phones. I mean, Google has had their cleanup feature forever, and iPhone does it pretty good, but Google also does it good as well. So really, this is just a nice thing to finally have here on the iPhone. But yeah, the cleanup, it works good sometimes. Sometimes it takes a little bit more effort, like I just did with the fishing pole and stuff, to kind of get everything out of there. If I tap over here, we'll see what that does. You can see it kind of got rid of that. I mean, it's not really what I wanted, but it works good. It's not a bad feature. Now, there's a lot of different stuff here to do with notifications. Again, AI trying to help you out here. One thing I noticed right away is you now have a little notification badge on your app icons on your notifications. So for example, we have 7 Wall Street Journal notifications. We have 4 Barron's notifications. Wall Street Journal, we have 6 of those. So yeah, just different ones there. But you can see that one of the things with notification here is you now have notification summaries. So it kind of makes it easier to catch up if you have a ton of notifications coming in. So for example, if we look at the Barron's one up here, it has the summary icon, and it said, so this is several news articles that came in, but it put it into one notification. So it says Apple Intelligence may face backlash, convertible at 6% looks good, and job market is strong but hard to find. So if you tap on that, you can then see where it kind of got all of those different stories, and it put them into one. So it really works good with the news. If you get a lot of news notifications, it's the same down here with Wall Street Journal. You can see that it says Wall Street Journal analysis found X algorithms pushing political content, XAI in talks to raise funding, and then behind the scenes fight over recasting. So it works great in that regard. It also does pretty good with text messages. So if you get like a bunch of text from the same person, it basically kind of gives you a one-liner telling you what they want, essentially. So it works pretty good. Especially with news and text, and even a lot of emails as well. There's an all-new focus that you can do called reduce interruptions. So if you want to add this, you just go into your settings, go to focus, and there it is, reduce interruptions. So this is going to basically use the Apple Intelligence to kind of figure out what notifications are necessary, the ones that are important. So you can share with friends that you have it silenced, you can turn on custom lock screen, you can schedule it. But yeah, it's going to use on-device intelligence to figure out what the best notifications are. Another thing with the notifications, that also kind of goes into mail. So you can use Smart Reply in mail to help you quickly respond. Again, you can do all the proofreading, everything if you're writing emails as well. You can also do priority messages in mail. So it organizes your inbox based on what you think needs your attention. And then also your emails are getting summarized just like your notifications do. Next thing here has to do with phone calls. So you now have the ability to record phone calls. If you're on a phone call, in the top left corner, you'll have a new button that you can tap on, and it will record the phone call, and it'll also transcribe that into your notes application. Now don't think you can't just record somebody without them knowing. It does announce to both of you that the phone call is being recorded. But if you have like a meeting with somebody over the phone, and it's a good way, I guess, to kind of document and take meeting notes or something like that. For camera, we now have some updates to camera control, so you can quickly switch to the front and true depth camera. Obviously that's on phones with the camera control, but here on iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, you can now do spatial photo capture along with spatial video capture. So you can see down here at the bottom, scroll over, you can see spatial mode. So it says record special photos and videos with remarkable depth for viewing in the Photos app on Apple Vision Pro. So yeah, you can then rotate your phone to landscape, and you can then basically kind of just take pictures that you'll be able to see really cool on Vision Pro if you have that. If you have AirPods Pro, you now get all of the new hearing aid features. So Apple has added a bunch of those clinical grade hearing assistant features to AirPods Pro 2. So if you have those, once you update to the latest version of iOS 18.1 here, you'll be able to access all those features on your existing AirPods Pro. Then last but not least, there are some just random kind of miscellaneous fixes and bug fixes and stuff like that. So Control Center now has new options to add connectivity controls individually, and you can also reset your Control Center configuration. So if you want to reset it back to original iOS settings, you can finally do that, which is pretty nice to have. RCS business messaging lets you connect with businesses over RCS, so that has been added in here as well. The Apple App Store now lets you search using natural language to find what you're looking for, so you don't necessarily have to have the exact name of an app. You might can look up something like best games or something like that. There's an issue in podcasts where unplayed episodes are marked as played, so that should be fixed. There was also another issue where videos recorded at 4K 60 while the device is warm could experience stutter when scrubbing the playback in the Photos app. That should be good. There was also another problem where digital car keys may not unlock or start a vehicle after restoring a phone from a backup. And then last but not least, iPhone 16 and 16 Pro models may unexpectedly restart, and that should be fixed now as well. And as usual with all Apple software updates, there are going to be a bunch of security fixes, and there was quite a few of them here according to Apple's website. You can see all those here on their support page. But yeah, they go in, they fix them all, they tell you what it was. It's always crazy to see how many of these there are. Yeah, really crazy, but I guess it's good that they're fixing them. And guys, that is pretty much everything here in 18.1. Again, we got a lot of new features here. We finally have access to some of Apple's intelligent features. Let me know what you think about these new features in the comments down below, and do you think that you're actually going to use them? Anyways guys, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video.